Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined once again by Joyce, WBO heavyweight #1, out in Las Vegas, getting ready for his fight with Joseph Parker in September. Joe, how you doing? How's life treating you out there?
Yeah, life's treating me well, apart from the technical problems I have with my mic, my computer and stuff. I was very good. Yeah, everything's good here at my end. I'm settling into Vegas life again, going to the gym, both gyms, training with Salas. I'm now starting to get into the flow and get my techniques back, and I'm going to push on, like build it up week to week.
You had the press conference last week. It seemed to get a bit there was a bit of animosity at times. How much of that was just because he's your next opponent, and how much was because of how long it's taken to get the fight signed and sealed?
Yeah, definitely frustration. But there's also like a kind of back and forth from, Parker and Ben Shalom, which kind of, they're airing their views and whatever. And me and Adam Morelli are airing our views. So got a few words said, and yeah, now it's real when it's on, and it's just time to get ready and lace up the gloves and duke it out in the ring.
Duke it out, yeah. Why was this the fight that you wanted particularly? Obviously, we know the world titles are tied up at the moment, but why was this the one outside of that you wanted?
It's the best fight out there, like for both of us. I keep saying is #1 versus #2, and especially why we will wait for the Usyk Joshua rematch. It's great. It's the best fight. It's the next best fight, and it's also in the UK. So
yeah, it's good stuff. What do you expect from Joseph Parker?
Well, I expect him to be on good form. He's very seasoned and has great skills and like techniques and stuff. So he's going to be avoiding my shots. He can take them as well, and he's going to be hit. He's going to be dishing them out. So it's going to be tough. Like, I think especially early on.
He fought Derek Chisora last time we saw him over here. Seemed to be a bit of a tough one in terms of he engaged a lot more than I think most people expected him to. Would he be unwise to repeat that strategy against you?
He's going to try his hardest. Like, maybe, yeah. It's going to be, he wants to go toe to tash, see how long he can live with me.
I spoke to Adam Morley earlier in the week, and he said they're trying to make it for the WBO interim title, and then that would really solidify the winner's position to be that mandatory contender for the WBO belt. Is that something that excites you? It's not the full world title, but it is maybe one step closer.
Yeah, that's that's what I want to do in my career, and that's what I've done. It's like, as long as I'm moving forward, keep moving forward and like edging up. Like, I registered up the rankings, I'm on the top of the rankings, and this is just gonna it's gonna be great, because like when the title comes available, then I can be elevated if it goes on like that. I mean, if that's in place.
Would you expect there to be much chance of the winner of Joshua Usyk rematch to vacate? I think Adam was saying the aim for the winner will probably be an undisputed fight with Tyson Fury, and then they may have to vacate.
Yeah, and then I'll be there to, thank you, I'll take the title.
Yeah. How would you feel about that if that does occur, that you're elevated to the title from being interim champion rather than beating someone for a vacant title or beating a sitting champion?
I mean, it's good, because then I can make my first defense for it, and then that can solidify me as the champion.
And you get more of the money as well if it's a first defense rather than a challenge.
Exactly. Yeah. So business-wise, it's a great move.
I think that's kind of what Lennox Lewis did. I think he was elevated, and then he fought Tony Tucker, who was the #1 contender anyway for the WBC, and that kind of solidified him. But obviously, I guess he got the better end of that purse.
All right.
Happy days. We've asked you about Usyk Joshua 2 a number of times in the past. As the fights got closer, things have changed. Joshua was added to his training team. There's been the war in Ukraine, of course, which is still going on. Usyk's training out in Dubai. Has anything happened, anything emerged that's made you change your mind about how you see that fight going?
Well, looking at Usyk now, he looks dangerous, man. He's put on some size and like he's doing like the Mike Tyson
Bob and Weave, yeah.
esque head, yeah, bobbing and weaving. So he's up in his game, and Joshua's obviously having to up his game as well. So I think it's going to be fireworks, and I can't wait to watch it. See what the outcome is.
Will you be going out to Saudi? That'd mean breaking camp. I'm guessing you'll watch it on TV.
Yeah, watch it on TV. I'm not sure what time it is. US time, Vegas time.
Yeah, I think they're a couple of hours ahead of UK, which would mean they're what? You're 8 hours behind us. So yeah, maybe about 10 hours behind.
Yeah.
So if it's like 10 o'clock, yeah, maybe about midday, Vegas time.
Yeah, so I can have a cup of tea, some lunch, and watch the boxing.
There you go, living the dream.
Yeah.
I have to ask, how do you see the fight planning out? I know you said fireworks, but who do you see coming out on top?
That's down to them, really. But I think Usyk's just looking on form and fire, and like he's beaten him before. So, mate, it's not looking very good. But Joshua, as I keep saying, has got a puncher's chance, and he's let's see what he's been working with his team, with his new team, and see if he can like change things up, come out more offensive and that, and it'll be a firefight. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
If everything goes your way against Parker, and the winner of Usyk Joshua does decide to go for Fury in an all-belt clash, what sort of opponents do you keep busy against? Because you're just going to have beaten the number 2 contender anyway. How do you kind of top that without fighting the champion?
That's a good question. I'll have to discuss my team the next move. But first, I've got to get through Parker first, and then we can like see what's out there from there and what becomes available. But yeah, I'll be happy to fight the winner if it works out like that. It's up to, and hopefully Fury can relinquish the WBC, and then I can fight. Wilder and Hunter are in the UFC facilities here in Vegas as well.
Oh, right.
That's interesting, and I think he's got a fight now. Wilder.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? All right. Well, we're breaking news
then,
here on SecondsOut.
Yeah.
And Hunter's fighting.
I think I saw something like that.
And Hunter's fighting Hughie Fury, isn't he, next?
And yeah, for Hunter Hughie Fury, yeah, which is kind of clash with my date fighting Parker, so I think there's going to be like slightly later.
All right, I see. Talking of that, your fight's obviously on BT Sport Box Office. It's a pay-per-view event. How do you feel about that, and how big an attraction do you think you against Parker is?
I think it's a great fight. I think people want to see it, and there's people on both sides of the fence. Some people were supporting me, some people are supporting Parker to win, and no one really knows until fight night. So it's like must watch. It's like the next best fight apart from the rematch with Usyk and Joshua. So boxing fans are in for a treat.
Have you spoken to Wilder or Hunter yet in the facility? And is there any possibility of you guys having a move around, having a spar?
Yeah, I sparred Hunter the last camp.
Yeah.
I spoke to Wilder yesterday. He seems in good form. He's back and ready. He was in the physio a bit. And he seems back and ready for action. So should be exciting stuff, especially with the WBC belt potentially coming available. If please, Fury, could you give up the belt so I can fight for it?
I'm sure he'll watch this and sympathise. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, would you spar Wilder, or is it? I mean, he's not most similar to Parker.
Nah, it's probably not the right, not really the right dimensions for Parker. And I don't want to get chin checked
in the camp.
Right hand either.
I mean, Hunter's not a million miles away from Parker stylistically, is he?
Yeah, no, it'd be good to spar him again, yeah. And I guess like I'm the same height as Hughie Fury, so
yeah, good point.
Might be good for him.
Might have to be a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, go on.
You're trying to help him out. Oh,
shoulder rolls.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to see. We'll see it in the Parker fight then as well. You'd have been working on it. That's good stuff. How are you enjoying everything now? Obviously, it's been a journey, but you're right on the precipice of that world title fight now. You're in big fights. You're a pay-per-view attraction now as well. Is this a high point, especially compared to the amateurs where you reach the highest level?
Yeah, it's definitely a high point. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm just back here in Vegas and training in this that like yeah, I'm just almost there. So it's just need to keep working, keep motivated, and keep focused.
How much of the work you do now with Salas, who's your long-time trainer, is based on adding new things, and how much is based on just sharpening the things you're already good at?
There's always like an adjustment period where when I come back, I start working at the fundamentals, like the basics, and um, get back to a level where then he can then start teaching me new stuff, new combinations and that. But this time around, it's been a lot quicker because I've already had a camp out there before, and so it's like a short period for me to like pick up where I left off and then start learning again and progressing a lot quicker.
Is it nice to have that? Because there's been periods where Salas hasn't been able to be in camp. There's been long gaps of inactivity as well at times, but now you've got two kind of solid back-to-back camps with him.
Yeah, which is ideal, really, especially for the future fights.
Yeah, it's a cracker. And we talked about Hunter Hughie Fury. How do you see that one kind of panning out? Because I think the winner of that becomes mandatory for Daniel Dubois, who you know very well.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight because, like, stylistically, they got contrasting styles. Like, obviously, Hunter's going to come forward and like come at him with like fast shots, and Fury's obviously going to be the back foot trying to pick him off and like move away from the shots and stuff. So, and he's obviously taller man. So yeah, it's an interesting fight, and then obviously the winner of that fighting Dubois, that'll be a great fight as well.
And they're talking about potentially Dubois in the interim fighting Dillian White in a defense of his WBA regular title. What do you make of that one? Obviously, Dubois, someone you've shared a ring with, White, someone you've been linked with as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I would imagine White didn't want. I thought he wanted like a get back into it fight, like an easier fight to get back in after the loss against Fury. But yeah, if he's, that's a big fight fighting Dubois. That's going to be some heavy leather traded.
It's a buzzing time for the heavyweight division in the UK, it seems. How excited are you about being part of that? Because it looked for a long time with Joshua and potentially Fury kind of at the end of their careers that you might miss out on those big domestic rivalries. But then there's this whole other crop in and around that level.
Yeah, another wave coming through. So I'm going to be on it with my surfboard.
Trampling over the waves.
Yeah,
I like it. Juggernaut on the surf. That'd be a sight to behold. Do you actually surf? It's like the sort of thing you do.
And I used to, when I was a kid, I used to have a bodyboard. I used to use, but I tried surfing a couple of times in Cornwall, but it's so hard to get up on the board and catch a wave and not fall off and stuff. So yeah, credit to people who can actually surf. But yeah, I'd love to give it a go again.
Oh, great stuff. How will camp look for you now until the fight? Is it just kind of a standard camp like it'd be in the UK, or will there be a break in the middle? Will you be coming home at all?
Yeah, after the fight, I'll come home and then have a bit of a holiday and then go back out to Vegas again.
Do you have your own place in Vegas now that you go to all the time?
No, I kind of like rent accommodation while I'm here, rent a car. So yeah, it's expensive, but like, I want to be the best, so I've got to like train with the best, and Salas brings the best out of me. So this is what I have to do.
Could you ever see yourself like basing yourself over there full time in Vegas, like buying a place and just staying there year round, or would you not?
Eventually, I need to. Yeah, I need to have my base, my headquarters in the UK first, and then I might see about branching out. But then there's also the tax and everything, and so yeah. I mean, in the long term, yeah, it would be nice.
Good stuff. What tell us about the facility? Because you said about the UFC facility where you do a lot of your work. how does it compare to some of the gyms in the UK? Not to do any of them down, but what do you get in the US that, apart from Salas, obviously, who's vital, but what do you get in the US you might not get here?
Well, Vegas, the weather, hot weather. There's Red Rock Mountains, and there's another Lone Mountain Path, really good for running as well. The UFC facilities have top of the line recovery facilities like gym, everything, like the nutritional side with the canteen, and it's so great that I get to use that facility. It's got everything I need, and also Salas's gym, new gym, for the technical side of boxing, but boxing science.
Yeah, boxing science.
Biomechanics, etc. Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, just before I let you go, just for anyone out there who's maybe on the fence about whether to purchase the fight between yourself and Parker on BT Sport Box Office, how would you sell the fight to them, to the casual observer, if you like?
Like, it's a risky fight for both of us, and like we're both in, like in a great position. So it's a big risk for both of us, and it's going to be. This is a battle of the Joes. Who's the better Joe? And so there should be. If you've seen our last fights, it's all action, and you will know one not to be missed.
Great stuff. Really, really appreciate your time, mate. Especially out in the US and with your microphone woes as well. We overcome those, so it's all good.
Mate, a lot of technicals.
Yeah, well, now you can just focus on the technical side of boxing rather than the PC. So
right.
Good luck with the rest of the camp, and I can't wait for the fight.
Oh, mate.
Cheers, mate.